Nah. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Lancing with myself, the weekly 5-minute YouTube show where I, Steve D from Tin Star Games, give you a little piece of advice about game design and freelancing, especially when you're low on spoons and low on cash. Now, as it is, if I check my watch, which I'm not wearing, the 31st of December, it's a good time to think about looking back and looking forward. Way back in episode 25, we did an episode about how important it is to look back at things and see how they've come along, because otherwise you won't notice that you're growing and getting better. This time of year, it's always a good time to look back, but we also think about looking forward. And that brings me to today's topic, which is how to set good goals. When you're thinking about the future, you might think about where you'd like to be in a year, this time of year, thinking about what I'd like to change, what I'd like to reach, what I'd like to get to. But it's actually quite a difficult process to set goals when you're a creative person, because there's lots of things you don't have that much control about or even information about. You can't set your goal to be, I want to be published, I want to have this many games published, because you don't know how lucky you're going to get. You can't set your goal about sales or even hits or transfers, because you don't know how the market's going to respond. You have a limited amount of control over your audience. You have a limited amount of control over your success. You have a limited amount of control of your ability even to get great ideas and complete great ideas. So even saying something like, I want to make 5 games is dangerous, because you better be prepared for some of those games to suck, because they might. You don't know how many great ideas you're going to have and how they're going to follow them. Nor do you always know where you want to be. A lot of creative work is experimentation. Especially when you're young and starting out, you don't know what kind of designer or creative you want to be, so you have to try all these different paths. And only when you figure out some sort of vague goal can you start working towards it. And even then, it's not always easy to see that you are moving towards it. You can keep that mountain on the horizon, but the map can be very confusing. So, you might say, well, I want to, move to America or something that will get me closer to my goal, but then you might find that doesn't get you closer to your goal, or it gets you closer to a goal that isn't actually the kind of design you want to be anymore. It was something that was aspirational, but not something that you really want to achieve. So how do you set goals? You can think about things that would be nice, which is always good. Have things that, that you'll definitely say, well, when I hit that definitely is a mark of success, and I'll celebrate that. Always remember to celebrate things when you do get to them. But when it comes to goal setting, think small and think about processes. Think about things that you have total control over, or as much as you can, given the vague areas of life, and keep them nice and small and specific about how you are going to change your behavior and the things you do. Sending away 5 submissions, applying for 5 jobs, writing more, designing more, taking a prototype on your desk that isn't finished and getting it to a playable stage. These are things that you can control. Going to a class, going to a conference, going to an event, going to play test more, joining your local club, finding local designers, entering a competition. These are things that you can write down as your goals. Even if you don't even quite complete them, you can think about these as processes that I want to complete. When you are thinking about goals, if they're about your processes, there's an old acronym I learned in the business field, which is SMART. S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for achievable, R is for realistic, and T is for time sensitive. The first 2, specific and measurable, means don't be vague. Don't just go, I want to do more designs. Like, count how many you did last year, count how many prototypes you made. Go, well, I want to do 1 more than that. Right? So you have something that's really specific. If it's, I want to spend an hour a week designing, it has to be something you can measure. I want to go to X conventions. I want to do so many submissions. I want to write this many times a week or this many times a month. Specific, measurable. Achievable and realistic are the ones that come back to what I was talking about at the start. You've got to think about what you can control and what you can hit. If you just had triplets, what's achievable and realistic will change. Okay? And there's no point setting yourself up to fail. The best thing you can do is give yourself small, easily hit goals so that you feel good when you hit them. You can always set another goal afterwards, so keep those goals close. Right? Just don't shoot for the moon. Achievable, realistic goals, and time measurable is the last one. Obviously, you might say by the end of this year, but it doesn't have to be. Just because we use calendar years and the Earth rotating around the sun doesn't mean you have to. Your life is your own. Maybe it's weeks, maybe it's months, maybe it's, something else that's in your life. Maybe it's by the time I finish reading this book or speaking this sentence. Maybe it's before, you finish school, or once you finish school, you'll do X. Your life doesn't fit into convenient boxes, but you can pick times that you can measure so that your goals are time dependent. If otherwise they're just like up in the air, they're not specific and measurable. So set things that have a specific measurable goal, a specific number of things that are going to happen before or during a certain amount of time, and don't make them too difficult, and you'll hit them. And then you can do again and again, and you can step up. Success comes from small steps. So sometimes, even though it's nice to keep your focus on that mountain in the distance, the best way to get there is with single steps. Figure out the next 100 meters, and you'll figure out the next 100 meters when you get there. Little steps to victory and glory. That's my advice for you in 2020. Enjoy the year. Have a good holiday. I'll see you soon. Until next time, be good, pat dogs, play games, have fun.